Victoria Ballard, naturopath, speaking to you from India, where I have to eat in the restaurants because I don't have any cooking facilities, and that's because I don't stay anywhere long enough to fit out a kitchen, and they don't come ready-made. Basically, you get a bare room with just a bed and a sink, so you have to sort of buy your stoves and your cooking and utensils, your plates, your knives, your forks, everything. And as I move around a lot in India, I don't do that. So I am breaking all my own rules in that I'm eating a high carb diet. I try not to eat too much rice, but given that there's not a lot of vegetables that are available they do have a fair amount of vegetables in the restaurants, but they fill themselves up with rice. So I've been doing that, and I've been getting away with it, and I've been thinking, well, this seems like all the time I spent on carnivore in the UK, that's 6 months of the year, I seem to have completely resolved my digestive issues. My weight. I seem to be able to cheat every day. I even eating twice a day. I try and eat once a day, but I'm sometimes tempted to eat twice a day. And I've been getting away with it. I haven't been putting on much weight. My digestion's been fantastic, even eating quite late at night, which I definitely don't advise. But what really brought it home to me that you can't just ride on your laurels and cheat was that we've got this celebration here called Pongal, and it's celebrated by a dish called Pongal, which is made of cashews and raisins, a lot of ghee, rice and lentils, and it's of course spiced up a bit and it tastes really delicious. So I had to join in the Pongal, didn't I? And of course it's full of jaggery, which is pure cane sugar. And I really can't get away with sugar. And for the first time ever, I have, well, when I say ever, since I've been going carnivore, since I've been following Jason Fung, since I've been really working on my weight and my digestion and every health aspect using carnivore. I mean, Jason Fung doesn't say you can't eat rice. He just says just eat 1 meal a day or 2 meals a day. Don't snack. He doesn't say you can't eat rice, but carnivore really suits me. And it had me in a condition where I felt I had resolved them all permanently, the digestion, the acid reflux, the weight, most of all the weight. But when I indulged in the local dish, we have a celebration here, a bit like Christmas, and it's called Pongal. And the food you eat at Pongal is cashews and raisins and lots of ghee and jaggery, the cane sugar. And it is quite sweet. And it's got in a base of rice and dal that has been cooked so thoroughly that it's just like a sort of mash of these wonderful ingredients. But I can't get away with sugar, and I should have known that. And for the very first time ever, last night I had acid reflux. So you have to find out for yourself what you can get away with. I mean, I'm going on this principle. I mean, this just one sentence that I heard that made me feel that I could get away with, doing the whole carnivore thing, clearing up all the problems, and then being able to go back on, I wouldn't say normal food, but whatever food is available here in India. And that was when David Sinclair was sort of challenged, because he is plant-based and he's going for longevity, and his biological age is 20 years older than his actual age by all the tests. So he's really going for longevity. Well, I've lived a long time already, so I'm not so bothered about that. But I am bothered about being healthy, fit, having enough stamina to sort of walk. And I was going to get a motorcycle, but I'm glad I didn't, because it means I have to walk everywhere. But what I'm really sort of saying was, David was actually in an interview, and someone was saying, well, look, these people that are going carnivore are getting rid of Crohn's disease, IBS, all sorts of digestive issues, weight. I mean, their weight is really stabilizing, and they're not having to sort of restrict calories or count calories at all, and it's all kind of, what do you have to say about that? And he said, well, if there are health issues, why not go on the carnivore diet until the health issues have cleared up, then come back on the longevity diet, which he considers to be plant-based. And Victor Longo, who's also a longevity, I mean, he's a professor, as is David Sinclair, and they're both funded for this longevity research. And Walter Longo also says plant-based, but with the occasional fish. So, and he's also said that as you get older, you probably do need red meat. So I am definitely in the older category, and I find meat, well, I've been a vegetarian most of my life, and I love vegetarian food, but I find meat not only filling, satisfying, delicious, and it just keeps me from all my symptoms. The only symptom I have left is my insomnia, and I don't know what diet's going to cure that. I'm here in the land of yoga and meditation and Ayurveda, so I come here really to try and sort of solve the insomnia issue through yoga, meditation, and Ayurvedic medicine. Anyway, this one sentence when he said, clear up all the health issues with the carnivore and then go back onto the longevity diet. Well, the longevity diet is vegan and plant-based, and I am plant-based here in India, but I just cannot get away with sugar. It has really messed up. Well, I mean, I've just had one night of indigestion, but it was so disappointing after thinking I'd resolved it forever, and that, you know, as long as I go back to England and do a fair amount of carnivore and a fair amount of ketovore and ketogenic diets, and staying away from the inflammatory oils, the sunflower, safflower, canola, rapeseed, I mean, there's so many, soybean, peanuts. Peanut oil is really, they use it a lot here in India, and it's really so rich in omega-6, it knocks out the omega-3. I hope we are now clear on the omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids. They are called essential fatty acids because we don't make them, we need them from food. But omega-6 is so readily available in seeds and nuts and healthy foods that you don't have to use these, well, you don't have to, you shouldn't use the safflower and the sunflower oil. But I'm sort of saying that everyone finds what they can and can't get away with. Meat is the least allergenic, then you get eggs, fish, some dairy like butter, ghee, cheese even, although I love cheese so much I tend to binge on it, but it's sort of allowed, even though our ancestors didn't domesticate animals, so dairy could be considered a bit iffy. And of course so many people are lactose intolerant. So the main culprits, we're going from the sublime to the ridiculous. The sublime is we've been eating meat for millions of years, and very few people, I don't know anyone that would be allergic to ruminant meat. It was used by Harley Street doctors in the 80s to eliminate all allergens because it was the safest food to eat. And then we go to the ridiculous being sugar, and I think wheat. I mean, there's quite a lot of evidence that anthropologists have found that 8,000 years ago, when we started settling and growing wheat, that they found that the skeletons had all sorts of teeth missing, holes in their teeth, obvious teeth problems, which were not found in the Paleolithic, just before agriculture. So when we were eating meat and tubers and whatever we could gather, we weren't getting bad teeth at all. We were living to, we didn't live to great old age because we had so many diseases and we didn't have like penicillin and stuff like that. But our immunity must have been pretty good because we survived to create, how many billion are there of us on the planet right now? So Homo sapiens has been really, they've survived millions of years on this meat diet. But anyway, we're getting back to the ridiculous, which is those foods that you probably can't get away with. And the statistics on wheat, just one that I can tell you about, is after the potato famine, the Irish ate potatoes as their staple, not grains, potatoes. And when the potato famine really decimated the population of Ireland, wheat was introduced, and mental ill health had not been known about in Ireland until the introduction of grains. So I would say that you all know that lactose, wheat and sugar are likely to be the most dangerous foods that you can't really cheat on too often. Although I have to say that, I do cheat when I'm in India because I can't cook for myself. But it's just not really worth it if you can avoid it. If you can avoid these common allergens, wheat, lactose, there's much less lactose in butter and cheese. It's the milk, really, and even the yogurt is not really fermented sufficiently to be completely safe. Although kefir, goat kefir, which is really, really fermented, that's pretty good, and that's a dairy that I would say most people could get away with. Anyway, I'm just letting you know that I thought I could cheat ad infinitum because I'd done so much work on myself, but I really fell down when I had a whole load of pongal full of jaggery, the lovely cane sugar. And I'm advising you not to cheat. I'm advising you not to eat sugar. Try going without wheat and see how you feel. Try going without milk and even the butter and cheese you might be allergic to. Eggs, it's going to be the whites you're allergic to, so separate the yolks from the whites if you've got any suspicions in that direction. You can always put the whites aside, and if the yolks are fine, you can then add the whole egg to the whites that you've saved, and you can make omelettes with that and see how you go. So you can do quite a lot of elimination on your own, although I am here with very little to do really, and I'm very happy to do email consultations. So don't hesitate, just ask me questions, or ask for my supervision. I'm willing to do emails for free because of the time zone. It's kind of the most, it's the best way for me to communicate. So my email address is in the description and in the comments. And I can supervise you on this elimination of the foods that are likely to be causing you difficulties. But I would advise you to give it a go on your own and come to me if you need my help. I'm here. I'm happy to hear from you. I would love you to subscribe to my channel, give it a like even, and make a comment, whatever. Give me some ideas about what you really want to hear about. I've been a naturopath. I graduated in 1986. I was a psychotherapist before that since 1975. I've got decades of experience, so that must count for something. Okay, hope to hear from you. Bye.